Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Alert. For years, the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong have been at the very center of one of the most intense financial discussions online. Investors, analysts, and everyday people have all been asking the same question. When will the IQD and VND finally revalue? Well, a new wave of reports, banking signals, internal memos, and sudden system updates has reignited that speculation to a level we haven't seen in years. Across forums, private banking circles, and financial alert channels, one explosive claim is spreading like wildfire. IQD and VND may be going live as early as tomorrow. The word is that banks are ready. Rates are supposedly activating right now. But what does this really mean? Is this a confirmed global currency reset signal? Is it just a coordinated banking test phase? Or is it another false alarm, fueled by misinformation and hype? Today, we're cutting through all the noise, the fear, and the confusion to deliver what's actually happening, why banks are suddenly involved, what rates activating truly means, and what you, as an investor, should realistically expect next. Let's break it down step by step. First, let's understand the core idea here: currency revaluation, or RV. A revaluation happens when a country officially decides to increase the value of its currency compared to others. This usually happens because of major economic reforms, a big increase in foreign reserves, stabilized inflation, or a strategic repositioning in global trade. A successful revaluation can strengthen a country's purchasing power, attract foreign investment, and restore confidence in its entire banking system. So why are the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong always talked about together? While Iraq and Vietnam are obviously very different countries, their currencies share a few key traits. Both have been undervalued for a long time, both are under heavy state control, and both have been gradually modernizing their banking infrastructure away from large cash-based economies. Both countries have also been quietly moving toward digital banking, reducing their dependency on black market currency trades, and building new trade partnerships. This is why the speculation never truly dies. It just goes quiet until moments like right now. Now, let's talk about that explosive phrase, "Go live tomorrow." Where did this claim even start? This exact phrase is being used aggressively across currency Telegram groups, private banking alerts, and YouTube live streams. But go live doesn't always mean what you think it means. In banking terms, go live can refer to a lot of different things, like internal rate activation, system synchronization, liquidity testing, or just back-end compliance updates. This means rates might exist inside the bank's system, but they are not yet visible to the public or tradable at the retail level. This distinction is absolutely critical, and it's often ignored just to get more clicks. This brings us to the strongest part of the current narrative: bank readiness. The reports flying around claim that banks are updating their foreign exchange software, reclassifying the dinar and dong from their exotic currency status, and even running overnight test batches. Some sources even claim that tellers are seeing temporary rate placeholders on their screens, and that compliance teams are on standby. Now, it's very important to note, none of this has been publicly confirmed by any major international bank. But historically, banking systems always get updated before any public announcements are made. The tech has to be ready first. Let's zoom in on Iraq's position. Why is the dinar back in the spotlight? Over the last few years, Iraq has been making some quiet but significant moves. It has increased the consistency of its oil revenue, reduced its reliance on US dollar auctions, strengthened its central bank, and rebuilt its foreign currency reserves. The Central Bank of Iraq has repeatedly stated its goal is a stronger, more stable Iraqi dinar. And while their official statements carefully avoid the term revaluation, their policy direction speaks louder than words. Iraq is also actively limiting the flow of physical US dollars and promoting electronic payments, which are necessary steps for any modern currency adjustment. Meanwhile, you have Vietnam's silent strategy. Vietnam is often underestimated because it doesn't advertise its moves. Instead, it just focuses on results. It aggressively expands its exports, maintains tight control over its currency, builds massive manufacturing partnerships, and quietly keeps inflation stable. The Vietnamese Dong is one of the most tightly controlled currencies in all of Asia. This means any change in its value would be extremely deliberate and calculated. Sudden spikes in speculation are unusual, which is why the reports of banking system updates are so significant. It signals a potential long-term structural intent, not an overnight miracle. This leads us to the most misunderstood claim of all: rates activating now. What does this phrase really mean? Rate activation is not the same as a public exchange. Let me repeat that. Rate activation does not mean you can go exchange your currency tomorrow. Activation often just means that back-end systems are being loaded with provisional rates, that algorithmic trading pathways are being opened between banks, or that interbank visibility is being enabled. The public exchange only happens when governments give the final green light, central banks issue official notices, and the major forex platforms publish the new live values. Until then, everything is happening behind closed doors. With all this hype, it's crucial to be aware of the red flags. This space is full of fake screenshots, stories about my banker friend, and claims of guaranteed dates, all designed to create emotional manipulation. The major red flags to watch for are people giving you exact dates with absolute certainty, using phrases like 100% confirmed, or pressuring you to act immediately. Real financial events don't require panic or secrecy. They are announced officially. So, what would true confirmation actually look like? If the IQD or VND were truly revaluing and going live to the public, you would see official press releases from the Central Bank of Iraq or the State Bank of Vietnam. You would likely see references from the IMF or the Bank for International Settlements. All major forex platforms would update simultaneously, and you would see mainstream media coverage from outlets far beyond YouTube. Anything less than that is still in the speculation phase. So, after all this, is something actually happening? Here's the honest assessment. Yes, banking systems globally are modernizing at a rapid pace. Yes, the dinar and the dong are part of a long-term global financial restructuring. And yes, it is very plausible that internal testing is currently underway. However, no, a public revaluation has not been officially confirmed, and any claims of it happening tomorrow are not reliable. Remember, momentum does not equal completion. So what should smart currency holders be doing right now? Instead of getting caught up in the panic or the hype, stay informed from credible sources. Avoid making emotional decisions based on rumors. Keep a close eye on official channels, the central banks, the finance ministries. Understand that these processes have timelines that are often longer than we'd like. The best approach is to prepare, but don't assume. The market always rewards patience, not fear. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next update. Stay safe and stay informed.